Good morning, everyone, and welcome to part 22 of my journey to becoming a voice actor. Crazy, we're already at part 22. I know I said it was crazy, we're at part 20, but it gets crazier and crazier to me. And, yeah, this week is actually, this is a pretty special week, for a few reasons. Number one, uh, in terms of announcements to make, we just hit 100 subs. Perfect. Just looking for something to listen to at the office. Well, that's perfect, Luca, because you get to hear this. One of the first people to hear this, but we just hit 100 subs on the channel. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty fucking cool. So I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to everyone who has subbed to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And do not fret because there is lots more content on the way. I've got a bunch of stuff planned. I do have a 100 subscriber special planned. Um, I'm sort of piecing it together in my mind, but it's gonna take a little bit. Yeah, let's go. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. And the channels it's getting close to almost 80,000 views now actually. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check the stats here. Let's see. Yeah, we're super close. Wow. Yeah, we are 500 views off of the channel hitting 80,000 views. That is awesome. That's awesome. So that's the main big announcement. Second big announcement is yes, there will be a special coming soon. I'm gonna put out a video probably at some point this afternoon. Just a quick video that I'm gonna upload to the main channel to the subscribers that I'll capture through my phone just as a thank you. Um, and in the video, I'll talk about like what it is I'm trying to do here on the channel, what are the future plans, and what am I hoping to accomplish. Those are the main three things. So yeah, that's those are the main announcements. You guys seem to be really liking the Metal Gear Rising shorts that I've been putting up. And I've got five more, well, actually, yeah, five more shorts after today. And I'm going to be editing a whole bunch more, probably another 4 or 5 at least, probably 4 more shorts, which is something related to Star Wars, which if you caught the last stream, Luca, I know you did. Um, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those of you who don't know, you'll have to find out through the shorts. Um, so I have that to edit today, which I'm hoping I can get done by today. I should be able to. The one issue with doing Star Wars, guys, though, I have to tell you, the one issue is um Disney or Lucasfilm, whoever it is that runs the copyright on YouTube, are ruthless. They are ruthless with music. And it's not even just the music. If I use any of the original audio from the scene, I'll tell you, it's a scene from Revenge of the Sith. Um, yeah, exactly. You got to see the Star Wars edits when I post them. Um, but yeah, the biggest issue is if I post with any of the audio from the original, which I don't know yet if I'm gonna do or not. Because the original audio is just it's really good, but the other thing is that it sound really weird because I'm voicing both the voices, Anakin and Obi-Wan. Um, so I have to basically figure out, okay, do I just take the original soundtrack that somebody probably took from that clip and splice it in with my audio and hope that I don't get copyright? But even then, no, it would still pick up the music, probably, unless it somehow doesn't. But I highly doubt it. Anyways, in any case, I'm not really concerned with it getting copyrighted. Um, Main reason is with shorts in particular with the policy. I'm not monetized either, by the way. So even if I was, but if I was monetized, all that would happen is any revenue I would make off those videos would just go, a cut of it would go to Lucasfilm or John Williams, I guess, in this case, the guy that originally created the music. So it's not the end of the world. Now, the only issue is if the video gets taken down, that would kind of suck. That would suck. But I don't see other people's videos getting taken down when they repost the Star Wars fights. I think what happens is they probably just don't get any revenue and they leave it at that. They would only really take it down if it was like, I guess, a blatant copy. I don't know. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling on. So let's get into the game plan for today. So the plan today is, funny enough, it's actually more to help. You can use other Star Wars music. There are artists that make Star Wars music that are copyright free, if I'm not mistaken. I'll send you some later. Just remind me if I don't. Okay, that's actually really good to know. I was looking for copyright free Star Wars music. I found some stuff, but it wasn't like right for the fight that I was looking for, or the scene right before they fight. Um okay, but for today, we are we're not going to do Star Wars. We're actually going to do more Metal Gear Rising. What is this?
Fire in the hole!
Okay. Um so what my plan is here, I'll share my screen so you guys can see. Um okay. Oh yeah, this like space here is just the stand I'm using. I'm gonna need to change up my setup. Oh, there we go. Now you can see it a bit better. Yeah. So actually, for the setup, so right now I have like this shield around here, but I was informed by one of my mentors that this is kind of useless once you have like the proper setup. Now this setup's a little janky. I have to get like proper stuff set up around the room, and I also need to set this up so it's on an actual like boom arm instead of just on a stand like this, so I can actually have it so I could read my lines and look at the same time, so it doesn't look as awkward. But we're running with this for now. It's been working out so far. So yeah, we got Raiden versus Armstrong. So my plan is to essentially take this scene but do Raiden's lines. So we did Armstrong's lines already, but I want to combine the two of them. Alright, so this is the scene. You all know this by now. Pulls out the cigar, lights it up.
So, what do you think?
How the hell did you get elected?
Well, I don't write my own speeches. You should try fighting for what you believe in sometime, Jack. Not for a company or a nation or for anyone else.
Maybe I was wrong about you.
Am I finally getting through? I'll rid this world of pointless wars, Jack.
I was wrong.
See, that is the tricky thing about Ryan's voice, is he gets like really like, I was wrong. I was wrong. He gets like really grovelly, and it like constricts the vocal cords too. The way he does it. God. Quinton Flynn is so good at Raiden. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You're not greedy.
You're batshit insane!
He's smiling.
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
Not when
Now
you're
you're purging the wheat, right?
What do you know about weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill
just to survive.
You did survive! Through sheer force of will, following your own set of rules. With your own two hands, you took back your life.
And now, I'll take yours.
See, like, I can kind of do Raiden's voice. Like, I can do decently. It's hard to do over and over and over and over again. That's the thing. Ugh. And this wouldn't be that hard to do either because I have it already labeled in my editing software I use. What lines are Armstrong's, what lines are Raiden's. So I would just voice over Raiden's lines and then put them both together. I think that would be kind of cool. Have both the voices in one, but they're both my interpretation of the voices. I think that would be pretty cool, honestly. So that's the plan for today. That's the idea I had I've had for a little while. And, you know, it's a good scene. It's about 2 minutes long, I think, this whole scene, if I'm not mistaken. It goes from 7:36 to 9. Yeah, 9:30. So it's about 2 minutes. Need some water after that. This is going to be a very water heavy session. You got to voice that meme of that fight. Oh, is it? Are you talking about the scene where he's like,
Nanomachines, son. They harden in response to physical trauma. You can't hurt me, Jack. Nanomachines, son.
that one?
What the hell are you? Nanomachines, son.
Why won't you die? Nanomachines, son. They harden in response to physical trauma. You can't hurt me, Jack. What did I just say? What? Nice knife.
This scene's also really good too, actually.
What a load of bullshit! All you care about is lining your own pockets.
And your approval rating. You've got no principles. Just like all the rest. If America's gone to shit, you're just another maggot crawling in the pile. All right, the truth then. You're right about one thing. I do need capital and votes. Wanna know why? I have a dream. What? That one day, every person in this nation will control their own destiny. A land of the truly free, damn it. A nation of action, not words, ruled by strength, not committee. Where the law changes to suit the individual, not the other way around. Where power and justice are back where they belong, in the hands of the people.
I really wish that. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say the live chat was not showing up. Okay, so there's two things we could realistically do. We could actually either do this scene or we can revoice this scene with Rydens. This is actually a really good one too.
Where every man is free to think, to act for himself. Fuck all these lipstick lawyers and chicken shit bureaucrats. Fuck this 24/7 internet spew of trivia and celebrity bullshit. Fuck
American pride. Fuck the media. Fuck all of it. America's diseased. Run to the core.
There's
No saving it. We need to pull it out by its roots.
Wipe the
Slate clean.
Burn
Burn it down.
And from the ashes, a new America will be born. Evolved, but unchanged. The weak will be purged. And the strongest will thrive. Free to live as they see fit. They'll make America great again!
What the hell are you talking about?
You still don't get it. I'm using war as a business to get elected. So I can end war as a business. In my new America, people will die and kill for what they believe. Not for money, not for oil. Not for what they're told is right. Every man will be free to fight his own wars! So, what do you think? How the hell did you get elected?
It's a pretty long cutscene too. Like if I really wanted to, I could make this a full project. Like this goes for a full 4 minutes and 15 seconds. That's a long. That's it, because usually my shorts I break them into like 25-30 seconds each. If I did this would be like 10 shorts easily or more if I really wanted to do that. All right. I think what I will do is this. I'm going to because there's no point in me recording my voice for Raiden's lines if I'm doing it as a dub over, right? It doesn't make sense. Because Armstrong will be reacting to what he's saying. So it'd be cool. Here, now I can actually see your guys' messages. And I can see them for the whole time. Because I'm not going to... I'm not going to record any new video footage. But I will record Raiden's lines for the scene that we've done already. Because I think it would be cool to have both. So, it's this scene here. Alright, so let's practice with Raiden's voice lines with the audio. And I know I won't get it.
How the hell did you get?
The first thing is like,
So, what do
I
you
would say this, like,
So, what do you think?
How the hell did you get elected?
Well, I don't write my own speeches. You should try fighting for what you believe in sometime, Jack. Not for a company or a nation or for anyone else.
Maybe I was wrong about you.
Am I finally getting through? I'll rid this world of pointless wars, Jack.
I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane!
now that scream is a little hard to do. That
Batshit insane! You're batshit insane!
That's what it sounds like.
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive.
You did survive. Sheer force of will, following your own set of rules. With your own two hands, you took back your life.
And now, I'll take yours.
Getting into character. That's all it is.
Well, starting to see things my way here.
Fucking love this game. I'll have to play through this game live on stream, honestly. It'll be a lot of fun.
you die! I will now, son. They harden in response to physical trauma. You can't hurt me, Jack.
Maybe not for. You should try my own. What the hell? So.
All right. I love how Armstrong dusts off Jack after completely beating the shit out of him. Yeah, I know, right? Just boom, 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 and it's just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, that scene. Yeah, he's like, oh, don't worry, Jack. You're okay now, champ. God, Armstrong is such a is fucking massive. What a Chad. Keep in mind, right? This entire game, you only see Armstrong once, and it's in a video playback cutscene. It's not even like a full proper cutscene. It's like an in-game, like you're watching like security camera footage as Raiden, and you see Armstrong. That is the only time you see Armstrong before this. And yet Armstrong as the final boss is like the most iconic, one of the most iconic final boss fights ever in a video game. And you only see him once in security cam footage. It's insane. And you see all these other games that like hype up these villains, right? Borderlands 3 is a great example. The villains in that game were garbage. They weren't good. Now, the voice actors, they were great. I don't blame the voice actors at all. I blame whoever wrote the script for that, because that wasn't great. Now that I'm thinking about it, here's what was good about Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 had really, really good gameplay. They really made it solid. The cooperative mode they added, where everyone has their own loot they pick up, best thing they added in the entire series. Best thing. I couldn't stand having to fight for loot in 2. I got used to it, but I still found it annoying. Because it would be like, who gets it first, right? But most of the time, it was okay because people have different classes, right? And they still kept that mode. But yeah, it's just so much better when everybody gets their own loot. It's so much better. What else was good about it? The boss fights were actually pretty cool. I did like the boss fights for the most part. There were certain areas I really liked too. There's a whole side area that you can like just completely skip by if you only follow the main story. That was one of my favorite areas in the game. Legendaries were pretty cool. The variation was good. Yeah, I mean, overall, like, it was a solid game. But excuse me, the story was just it was tough to get through that. I'll tell you that right now. Borderlands 2 story though, oh my god. Whoever wrote that game, genius/geniuses. Amazing game. Amazing story. Everything was great about that game. Anyways, let's get back to the scene we're practicing. So we'll do it one more time with audio, then we'll try recording practice. Nice thing is I don't have to set up the phone because it's just the audio we're putting in, right? and then I have to splice it together.
So, what do you think?
How the hell did you get elected?
Well, I don't write my own speeches. You should try fighting for what you believe in sometime, Jack. Not for a company or a nation or for anyone else.
Maybe I was wrong about you.
Am I finally getting through? I'll rid this world of pointless wars, Jack.
I was wrong. You're not greedy.
You're
Batshit insane!
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
Not when you're purging the wheat, right? What do you know about the wheat? You were born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive.
Did survive. Through sheer force of will, following your own set of rules. With your own two hands, you took back your life.
And now, I'll take yours.
Well,
Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. All right, so let's try without the audio and see if we can get the timing down. Let's get some takes in here. Testing, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Testing 1. That is absolutely not the right microphone. So we got to do this, close Audacity, reopen it. Let's try that again. There we go. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3.
How the hell did you get elected? How the hell did you get elected? How the hell did you get elected?
All right, let's try.
How the hell did you get elected? Maybe I was wrong about you. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane! Ah! Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. And now, I'll take yours.
All right, let's see what that sounded like. I feel like, again, this voice is really hard to get down right, so I'm not expecting to get this first try. It's probably going to take a while.
How the hell did you get elected?
That's pretty good. That's actually pretty close to how it sounds like in the game. Hey, that's not far off to Raiden's voice. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. It really, the most difficult parts are when he's like really intense on the voice, or he's like you know, the line where he's like
I was wrong. 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 You're not greedy. You're batshit insane. I was wrong. You're not greedy.
That's when I laughed.
Not when you're purging the weak, right?
Excuse me.
Poor. You've never been hungry. And steal. Fight and steal. And kill just to survive.
But you did survive through sheer force of will, following your own set of rules. With your own two hands, you took back your life. Now, I'll take yours.
And now, I'll take yours.
Alright, let's give this a listen. See how this sounds.
How the hell did you get elected?
Actually, let's see if we can time it with the video here. That would be pretty cool.
How the hell did you get elected?
Anyone else?
Maybe I was wrong about you.
Pointless wars, Jack.
I was wrong. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're not greedy.
You know what, let's just listen to it isolated.
Maybe I was wrong about you. Was wrong. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane! Ah! Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. And steal and kill just to survive. And now, I'll take yours.
Okay, not bad. Not bad overall. Honestly, it's not bad. Not bad at all. What are we on right now? Hour and 2. Yeah, I think we will take our first break here. Take a 10-minute break. I'm gonna go make myself some tea. I'm gonna need it for this voice especially. So I'm gonna go do that, and yeah, I'm hoping to get this recording done by today, so I can put this together after I do the Star Wars stuff. So there'll be plenty of content for you guys in the future. And I also have to do the 100 sub special, which I have some ideas for. That's gonna take a little bit to put together. I am gonna do a quick video, a quick shorts video probably to post. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I think what I'll actually do is I will put my most recent thing, which is today, because it's going to be uploaded in about half an hour. So what I'll do is I'll record a quick thank you and tell people to check out my latest thing, and see how that goes. So yeah, I will take a quick break, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes. So see you guys then. Okay, ladies and gents, we are back, and holy crap, a lot of you are watching the short I posted yesterday. For some reason, it's decided to show up in everybody's feeds again. Thanks, YouTube algorithm. Holy shit, this is insane. This is actually crazy. Wow. It's still going up. I wonder if it's gonna go up again in round 5. Yeah, you guys really like that new if you guys like that, I feel like you're gonna really like the last part. I'm hoping. So, okay. I'm just gonna drink this tea. If you guys have any questions, feel free to. I'm always open to answering questions and stuff. And remember, last hour is always some reading. We're gonna continue reading Mastery by Robert Greene. It's always fun to read that book, especially because a lot of it applies to what I'm doing and probably to what you guys are doing, whatever your guys' dreams are. So, I guess take this as a daily reminder. Follow your dreams. But don't just say that you're going to follow them. Actually follow through with the work. Put in time every single day to practice. Whatever skill you're trying to pursue, whatever it is you are trying to obtain, start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Something as simple as literally dedicating like 15 minutes a day. Right? And that might not seem like a lot of time, but then the more you do this, if you allocate that amount of time, what will start to happen is you'll want to do more. That's what happened with me, honestly. I've come to realize after this is the 22nd stream. I've done 22 streams now. After doing 22 streams, it's 3 hours per stream. It's the perfect amount of time. I could go longer. But the thing is, for me personally, if I'm practicing my voice acting, it needs to be an amount of time that's balanced, right? Because voice actors, they'll practice for hours and hours for gigs, right? But they don't do it consecutively. They'll take breaks to do this and that. So that's why it's important. This is like the tea time break. Usually first hour is call it tea time break. And this is Valerian Nights. It's coconut and I think vanilla. Now, obviously me saying follow your dreams, that obviously sounds like, oh, you're making it sound so easy. It's not. It's not easy. But that's the point. If you're really trying to go for something that you love, that you know you love to do, it's not going to be easy. I think there's a quote that goes something like, nothing truly worthwhile is ever easy. And nothing easy is truly worthwhile. Something along those lines. And I mean, it's true, right? If you think about it, it's not just, I'm talking about voice acting, but, for anything really. Like if we're talking about, you know, relationships or like anything worthwhile, relationships, future career, whatever you can think of. You need to put time and effort into, right? If you're too comfortable with just sticking to whatever's easy and you're never willing to take risks or pursue the uncomfortable, you'll never really grow as a person. You have to pursue the uncomfortable. I truly believe that. Because think about it this way. If we avoid what's uncomfortable, what does that do to us? Well, for one, it makes us used to what is comfortable. So that, and a result of that is when uncomfortable things happen to us, when we get too used to being comfortable, we get thrown off course. And sometimes it could be a little bit off track, and sometimes it can be completely off the track or in a complete opposite direction. So yeah, I mean it's important. It's really important. Oh, nice. We got a new subscriber. We're at over 100 subscribers now. Awesome. The reason why I like tea with my when I'm doing this stuff is I find it soothes the throat. So when I'm doing like all the voices and stuff, especially for Raiden, it helps a lot. What else can I talk about? I guess I could talk about mastery. To give you a little bit of a recap before we start again in a little bit. We got about 40 minutes or so until we start again. Last where we left off, the book talked about how finding the right mentor. That's what it talked about in the last section we read in the chapter. It's really important to find a mentor that is right for you. But the author also says, you know, realistically, that might not be possible, and you might not get to pick and choose the exact right one. But I can actually relate to this greatly. So when I was looking for a coach, I looked all over and I tried to look up different reviews and stuff, and there was one site that I came across, one person, and she ended up being fantastic. I looked at her credentials, tons of experience, and I took a risk. Now, also granted, I still didn't really know who this person was, but I decided, you know what? Might as well give it a shot and see what it's like. And I had a meeting with her beforehand too. She was really great, talked about what to expect. That was sort of like a preview before I accepted anything. And I still told her, I remember, I was like, I need to think about it. Because it was really at that moment, I'd say that was a pivotal moment for me, because essentially I was thinking about, okay, if I go through with this, I need to give it 100%. No, 110%. I need to give it everything and take it seriously. Now, I won't lie. Even though I said to myself this, there were still times in the course where I was, just barely doing, like, getting the work in on time, because I still had doubts. But as the course went on and I got extra training, I realized that this is my calling. This is what I want to do. I know it is. And from that point on till now, I've been taking this a lot more seriously. And you'll have times where you doubt yourself, like I did, right? I wish I could say, oh, as soon as I took the coaching, all my problems were solved. No, that's not how it went. In fact, I had doubts, a lot of doubts still. And I still have some doubts that creep up here and now. But most of the time, I don't. Most of the time, I'm pretty confident with myself. Because I know if I keep doing this, if I keep practicing, staying consistent, posting these videos for you guys, getting your feedback and everything, all that combined together, I know that I can do this. And who knows, this series might go to part 50 until I get my first real gig. Well, I have had my first gig, actually. But first gig in, I guess, in a show or a movie or a game. That's the goal, to get into an animated series or game as a voice actor. That would be pretty cool. Anyways, I've been talking for like 10 minutes now, 15 minutes now. Let's get back to the voice acting. All right. So Raiden's voice, we gotta do a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Crackly? No. Or graggle? Like a. I was. I was wrong. Yeah, gotta open up throat for that. Alright, let's try this again. Alright. How the hell did you get elected? Oh.
Maybe I was wrong about you. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane! Ah! Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. And now, I'll take yours.
That could be it.
How the hell did you get elected?
What the hell is going on with the microphone? What? Oh, come on.
How the hell did you get elected?
Oh, that's just really frustrating. Great.
You're batshit insane! I was wrong.
Okay, well that's just unusable. That's really unfortunate. Fuck, man.
Not.
Why does it do that? What? Testing, testing, testing. Testing. Fuck off, Audacity. Gonna do it again. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing. It's doing it still. What? Sorry, guys. Hold on. I need to see if I can fix this. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna test see how this is on stream. Oh, it's sounding like that on stream too. Great. Okay, well, hopefully it sounds better after I just unplugged and replugged it back in. Come on. Oh, it's sounding like that on stream too. Great. Okay, well, hopefully it sounds better after I just unplugged and replugged it back in. It still doesn't sound better. Fuck. What is going on? Maybe if I do this. Okay, I really hope this fixed it. Or something. I don't know. Okay, I really hope this fixed it. Okay, I think we fixed it. I don't know. I think we fixed it. Hmm. Okay, I think we fixed it. I think we fixed it. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right. That answers that question. Sorry, I had to tune into that. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That has not happened to me before. I guess this laptop can only take so much sometimes. All right, well, we got to do that take again for sure. So let's test to make sure it's okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1. Yeah, we'll have to redo the setup. Close Audacity. The light of the mind alone cannot burn away all darkness. That's such a good line. The light of the mind alone cannot burn away all darkness. The light of the mind alone cannot burn away all darkness. The light of the mind alone cannot burn away all darkness. The light of the mind alone cannot burn away all darkness. The light of... Alright, we're good. We're good. Okay. Let's try that again. I got a few more takes left in me. What are we at for time? Okay. We're okay, actually. All right. Sorry for those technical difficulties. Oh. Nice, I'm actually able to stretch out in this chair.
How the hell did you get elected? Maybe I was wrong about you. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane! Ah! Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. And now, I'll take yours. Alright, let's give this a listen. How the hell did you get elected? The hell did you get elected? Maybe I was wrong about you. Maybe I was wrong about you. I was wrong. I was wrong. You're not greedy. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane! You're batshit insane! Ah! 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 Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. And now, I'll take yours.
Hmm.
How the hell did you get elected?
Okay, let's listen to it again. I'm not sure if this is the one or not. We'll see.
Maybe I was wrong about you. I was wrong. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane! Ah! Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight. About the weak. You weren't know about the weak. What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight. And steal. And kill just to survive. Not when you're purging. Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. And kill just to survive. And now, I'll take yours.
Honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know what you guys think. If anybody else is watching this, I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty sick. I don't know how much I could maybe do one thing slightly better, but honestly, this is pretty good.
How the hell did you get elected?
Alright, but should try fighting for what you believe in sometime, Jack. Not for a nation or a company or for anyone else.
Maybe I was wrong about you.
Am I finally getting through?
I'll rid this world of pointless wars, Jack.
Dun, 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 puts his hand out. Dun, 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 dun. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane! Ah! You're batshit insane! Ah! 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 You're batshit insane! Ah! Shit insane! Ah! You're batshit insane! Ah!
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. Ooh, okay. That sounds sick. That's so good. Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. And now, I'll take yours. Okay. Let's go. Oh, that sounds so good. I love it. I love it. Alright, just so we're honest with ourselves, let's give it a listen. How the hell did you get elected? You're not greedy. I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane! Ah!
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
Still a little too late. Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. And now, I'll take yours. I am wondering if it's a little quiet. That is my only real sort of concern, I guess. You're back. You're batshit insane! Ah! Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry.
You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight and steal and kill just to survive. Liar! You're with him! You brought him here to kill me! Let her go, Anakin! Let her go. You turned her against me? You have done that yourself. You will not take her from me! Your anger and lust for power have already done that. You have allowed this dark lord to twist your mind until now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy. Do not lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire? Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy! If you're not with me, democracy! Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy! If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try. Justice and security to my new empire. Your new empire? Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy! If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. Let her go, Anakin! Let her go. You're with him! You brought him here to kill me! Liar! You're with him! You brought him here to kill me! Let her go, Anakin! Let her go. You turned her against me?
Well, YouTube didn't copyright strike me for that on the stream. So at least for that. Whew. Okay. Well, I think it's time to take a very small break, and then we will continue with our reading on stream. So I'll be back in a quick sec. Okay, and we are back. So, for the last little bit, last 50 minutes or so, we're going to do some reading. So, let me pull up a nice fireplace for you guys. Let's see what we got here. Let's browse our options. Ooh, that one looks nice. This one we've already done. This one looks good. Wow. All one guy. Look, that's crazy. Phobos Planet. Look at all these videos by Phobos Planet. Jesus. This is kind of insane. Okay. I don't want that. I want all. Okay. Let's do this one. And I'll make it so you guys can hear. Okay. So we'll make this full screen. Alright. I like to have one headphone on so I can listen to it as well. Alright. And so we continue with Mastery by Robert Greene. I already mentioned earlier where we last left off, but as a quick recap, once again, for anyone that's just tuning in, we've just read about finding a mentor, what it takes to find a good mentor, and how you need to be able to know when to move on from that mentor and either find another one or start practicing your skill set. But we're going further into that. But these are, so we talked a little bit about mentorship. Now this is going more in detail. So I'll reread this. Strategies for deepening the mentor dynamic. One repays a teacher badly if one remains only a pupil. Friedrich Nietzsche. Although you must submit to the authority of mentors in order to learn from and absorb their power to the highest degree, this does not mean you remain passive in the process. At certain critical points, you can set and determine the dynamic, personalize it to suit your purposes. The following 4 strategies are designed to help you exploit the relationship to the fullest and transform the knowledge you gain into creative energy. Choose the mentor according to your needs and inclinations. In 1888, the 20-year-old Frank Lloyd Wright was an apprentice draftsman at the prestigious Chicago firm of Joseph Lyman Silsby. He had been there a year and was learning much about the business, but he was getting restless. In his mind, he could already envision a totally new style of architecture that would revolutionize the field, but he lacked the experience to set up his own practice. Silsby was a shrewd businessman who saw that his fortune was tied to staying true to the Victorian style of design that was popular with his clients. Wright cringed at what he was being asked to draw. He was learning antiquated design principles that offended him. Then, Out of the blue, he heard that the great Chicago architect, Louis Sullivan, was looking for a draftsman to help finish the drawings for a particular building. It would be dangerous to leave Silsby after such a short time and burn his bridge there, but working for Sullivan would be infinitely more stimulating for his personal development as an architect. Sullivan's firm was at the forefront of designing skyscrapers, utilizing the latest advances in materials and technology. Wright went on a charm offensive to secure the position. He managed to get a personal interview and showed Sullivan some of the more interesting drawings he had done on his own. He engaged him in a conversation about art and philosophy. Knowing Sullivan's own aesthetic predilections, Sullivan hired him for the job, and a few months later, made him an apprentice draftsman in his firm. Wright cultivated a personal relationship with him, eagerly playing the role of the son that Sullivan had never had. With his talent and Sullivan's blessing, he quickly rose to the position of head draftsman in the firm. Wright became, as he put it, the pencil in Sullivan's hand. In 1893, Sullivan fired him for moonlighting, but by then, Wright had learned everything he could and was more than prepared to step out on his own. Sullivan had given him in those 5 years an education in modern architecture that no one else could have provided. In 1906, Carl Jung was a promising 31-year-old psychiatrist, renowned for his work in experimental psychology and holding an important position at the famous Bergolzi Psychiatric Hospital in Zurich. But despite the apparent success in his life, he felt insecure. He believed that his interest in the occult and strange psychic phenomena was a weakness he needed to work through. He was frustrated that his treatment of patients was often not effective. He worried that his work had no legitimacy and that he lacked a certain rigor. He began to correspond with the founder of the psychoanalytic field, Sigmund Freud, 51 years old at the time. Jung was ambivalent about Freud. He admired, even worshipped him as a pioneer in the field. But he did not like his emphasis on sex as the determining factor in neurosis. Perhaps his aversion to this aspect of Freudian psychology stemmed from his own prejudices or ignorance, and needed to be overcome by taking it out. In their correspondence, they quickly developed a good rapport, and Jung was able to question the master about matters of psychology he did not fully understand. A year later, they finally met in Vienna and talked non-stop for 13 hours. The younger man charmed Freud. He was so much more creative than his other acolytes. He could serve as his successor in the psychoanalytic movement. For Jung, Freud could be the father figure and mentor he so desperately needed, a grounding influence. They traveled together to the United States, saw each other on frequent visits, and corresponded incessantly. But some 5 years into the relationship, Jung's initial ambivalence returned. He began to find Freud rather dictatorial. 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 He chafed at the idea of having to follow Freudian dogma. He now clearly understood why he initially disagreed with the emphasis on sexuality as the root of all neuroses. By 1913, they had a definitive break. Jung forever banished from Freud's inner circle. But through this relationship, Jung had worked out all of his doubts and sharpened certain core ideas about human psychology. In the end, the struggle had strengthened his sense of identity. Without this mentorship, he would have never come to such a clear resolution and been capable of starting his own rival school of psychoanalysis. Sometime in the late 1960s, V.S. Ramachandran, a medical student at a college in Madras, came upon a book called Eye and Brain, written by an eminent professor of neuropsychology, Richard Gregory. For more on Ramachandran's early years, see page 32. The book excited him. The style of writing, the anecdotes, the provocative experiments he recounted. Inspired by the book, Ramachandran did his own experiment on optics, and soon realized that he was better suited for the field than medicine. In 1974, he was admitted into the PhD program at Cambridge University in visual perception. Ramachandran had been raised on stories of the great English scientists of the 19th century, and the almost romantic quest for truth that science seemed to represent. He loved the part that speculation played in the great theories and discoveries of men such as Faraday and Darwin. He imagined it would be somewhat similar at Cambridge, but to his surprise, the students and professors tended to treat science as a kind of 9-to-5 job. It was a competitive, cutthroat, almost corporate environment. He began to feel gloomy and alone in a strange country. Then one day, Richard Gregory himself, a professor at Bristol University, came to Cambridge to give a lecture. Just want to make sure of something. Okay, yeah, we're good. Just wanted to double check. Ramachandran was mesmerized. It was like something right out of the pages of Humphrey Davy. Gregory performed through thought-provoking demonstrations of his ideas on stage. He had a flair for drama and a great sense of humor. This is what science should be like, Ramachandran thought. He went up after the talk and introduced himself. They had an instant rapport. He mentioned to Gregory an optical experiment he had been pondering, and the professor was intrigued. He invited Ramachandran to visit Bristol and to stay in his home, where they could try out this idea together. Ramachandran took up the offer, and from the moment he saw Gregory's house, he knew he had found his mentor. It was like something out of Sherlock Holmes, full of Victorian instruments, fossils, and skeletons. Gregory was precisely the kind of eccentric Ramachandran could identify with. Soon he was commuting to Bristol regularly experiments. He had found a lifelong mentor to inspire and guide him. And over the years he would come to adapt much of Gregory's style of speculation and experiment. Growing up in Japan in the late 1970s, Yoki Matsuoka felt like an outsider. As discussed in Chapter 1, pages 33 to 34, she liked to do things her own way, in a country that esteemed social cohesion and conformity above everything else. When she decided to take up tennis seriously at the age of 11, she used the players John McEnroe and Andre Agassi as her role models. Consummate rebels in what had been a very genteel sport. Later, when she moved to the United States and began attending university, she brought with her the same need to go her own way in whatever she did. If there was a field no one was studying, it excited her. Following this instinct, she got into the then esoteric field of robotics and was admitted to the PhD program at MIT. There, For the first time in her life, she met someone of her own temperament. Rodney Brooks, professor of robotics at MIT, and the bad boy of the department. He was bold, taking on the higher-ups in the department and arguing against some of the most entrenched ideas in the field of artificial intelligence. He had developed a completely novel approach to robotics. It excited her that a professor could get away with such an unconventional attitude. She began to spend as much time around him as possible, soaking up his style of thinking, and turning him into her de facto mentor. He was not a teacher who told you what to do. He let you find your own way, including your own mistakes, but would lend you support when you needed it. This style suited her need for independence. It was only later that she realized how much his ideas had gotten under her skin. Unconsciously following his lead, she would eventually create her own approach to robotics and pioneer a totally new field known as neurobotics. The choice of the right mentor is more important than you might imagine, because so much of her future influence upon you can be deeper than you are consciously aware of. The wrong choice can have a net negative effect upon your journey to mastery. You could end up absorbing conventions and styles that don't fit you, and that will confuse you later on. If she is too domineering, you could end up becoming a lifelong imitation of the mentor, instead of a master in your own right. People often err in this process when they choose someone who seems the most knowledgeable, has a charming personality, or has the most stature in the field. All superficial reasons. Do not simply choose the first possible mentor who crosses your path. Be prepared to put as much thought into it as possible. In selecting a mentor, you will want to keep in mind your inclinations and life's task, the future position you envision for yourself. The mentor you choose should be strategically aligned with this. If your path is in a more revolutionary direction, you will want a mentor who is open, progressive, and not domineering. If your ideal aligns more with a style that is somewhat idiosyncratic, you will want a mentor who will make you feel comfortable with this and help you transform your peculiarities into mastery instead of trying to squelch them. If, like Young, you are somewhat confused and ambivalent about your direction, it can be useful to choose someone who can help you gain some clarity about what you want. Someone important in the field who might not fit perfectly with your tastes. Sometimes, part of what a mentor shows us is something we will want to avoid or actively rebel against. In this latter case, you might initially want to maintain a little more emotional distance than normally recommended, particularly if she is the domineering type. Over time, you will see what to absorb and what to reject. Remember, the mentor dynamic replays something of the parental or father figure dynamic. It is a cliche that you do not get to choose the family you are born into, but you are happily free to choose your mentors. In this case, the right choice can perhaps provide what your parents didn't give you: support, confidence, direction, space to discover things on your own. Look for mentors who can do that, and beware of falling into the opposite trap, opting for a mentor who resembles one of your parents, including all of his negative traits. You will merely repeat what hampered you in the first place. Oh, this is making me tired. Oh, man. And I gotta edit after this. Oh, can't get tired now. Oh, the fire and reading. I'm reading myself to sleep. Oh, man. Okay, let's keep going. Gaze deep into the Number 2. Gaze deep into the mentor's mirror. Hakuin Zenji, 1685 to 1769, was born in a village near the town of Hara in Japan. His family on his father's side coming from an illustrious line of samurai warriors. As a child, Hakuin had the kind of relentless energy that would seem to mark him for a life dedicated to the martial arts. But at around the age of 11, he heard a priest deliver a sermon about the torments of hell for those who were not careful, and this talk filled the young boy with an intense anguish that nothing could extinguish. Hey, don't fall asleep, man. I'm still working here. You gotta keep reading. Alright, man. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad you're listening to me reading. That's nice. Maybe you can take away something from this book, too. There's a lot of good stuff in this book. All of his tenacious energy was now directed towards doubts about his own worth, and by the age of 14, he decided that the only way to quell his anxiety was to pursue the religious path and become a priest. He was particularly attracted to Zen Buddhism, having read stories of great masters in China and Japan, overcoming endless obstacles and suffering to reach enlightenment. The idea of passing through a phase of suffering accorded well with his innermost doubts about himself. At the age of 18, he was sent to a training center to prepare him for his life as a priest. The method of teaching, however, disappointed him. He had imagined 24-hour sessions of meditation and other ordeals. Instead, he was made to study all kinds of Chinese and Japanese texts. What he read and heard from his instructors did not change him at all. It was merely intellectual knowledge that had little connection to his daily life. His anxieties only increased. He left this temple and began to wander, looking for the mentor who could guide him. He entered one Zen school after another, in every corner of Japan, and he began to get a clear idea of the state of Zen instruction at that time. It revolved around simple sessions of seated meditation, with little instruction, until finally, a giant bell would sound, and the monks would hurry to eat or sleep. In their spare time, they would chant for happiness and peace. Zen had turned into one large soporific, designed to lull students into a state of rest and lethargy. It was deemed too invasive and too overbearing to give students any direction. They were supposed to find their own way to enlightenment. Naturally, when given such free rein, they would opt for the easiest path, doing nothing. This trend has spread through Japan. This trend had spread throughout Japan. Monks everywhere had convinced themselves that Zen was easy and simple, and that whatever felt right was right. Occasionally, Hakuin would hear of some school or priest that was creating a stir somewhere, and he would travel to see for himself. In 1708, he spent weeks traveling to reach a temple at a coastal town where just such a provocative priest was making an appearance. But after hearing a few sentences from his lips, Hakuin felt the same profound boredom and disappointment. Quotes from texts, clever stories, all to cover up the deadness of the words. He began to wonder if it was time to give up. If true enlightenment no longer existed. At the temple, he met another young monk, who was equally disappointed with the talk of the priest. They became friends, and one day, the monk mentioned that he had studied for a few days under a strange and completely reclusive master named Shoju Rojin, who was not like any other teacher he had encountered. He lived in a hard-to-reach village, accepted only a handful of students, and was very demanding. That was all Hakuin needed to hear. He asked the young monk to guide him right away to Shoju. When he met the master, he could see something in his eyes that was different from any other priest or teacher. He radiated power and self-mastery. You could read in his expression the pain he had endured to reach his current state. This man had lived and suffered. Hakuin was delighted when Shoju said he would accept him as a pupil, but his excitement soon turned to fear. During their first personal interview, Shoju asked him, "How do you understand the koan?" A Zen anecdote designed for instruction, and about the dog and the Buddha nature. "No way to lay a hand or foot on that," Hakuin replied, imagining that was a clever response. At which point Shoju reached out and grabbed his nose, pushing it with a harsh twist and yelling in his face. "Got a pretty good hand on it there." He held on tightly for several minutes, giving Hakuin a feeling of utter paralysis. Over the course of the next few days, he endured more and more abuse. Shoju made him feel that all of his studies and traveling had taught him nothing. He could not say or do one right thing. Out of nowhere, he'd receive a blow or a gob of spit in his face. He began to doubt every element of his previous knowledge, and he lived in complete terror of what Shoju would do next. Shoju gave him a series of the most difficult koans. I don't know how to say that. It's Koans. Koans. We'll call it koans. Shoju gave him a series of the most difficult koans Hakuin had ever heard to ponder and discuss. He could not make heads or tails of them. His feelings of dejection and demoralization were reaching a breaking point. But knowing that persistence was important, he kept at it night and day. Soon, he had doubts about Shoju himself, and entertained thoughts of leaving him in the near future. One day, feeling particularly agitated, he wandered into a nearby village, and without knowing why or how, he began to contemplate one of the thorniest koans Shoju had given him. Deep in thought, he strayed into the garden of a private house. The woman who lived there yelled at him to leave, but Hakuin seemed oblivious. Thinking he was a madman or a bandit, she attacked him with a stick, knocking him hard to the ground. When he came to minutes later, he suddenly felt different. He had finally penetrated to the core of Shoju's koan. He understood it from the inside out. It was alive within him. Everything fell into place, and he was certain that he had finally reached enlightenment. The world appearing to him in a totally new guise. He began clapping his hands and screaming with delight. For the first time, he felt the weight of all of his anxieties lifted from him. He ran all the way back to Shoju, who recognized right away what had happened to his pupil. This time, the master was gentle with him, stroking Hakuin's back with his fan. He finally revealed to his pupil his thoughts. From the first time they had met, he had recognized in Hakuin the necessary ingredients for true learning. He was fierce, determined, and hungry for enlightenment. The problem with all students, he said, is that they inevitably stop somewhere. They hear an idea and they hold on to it until it becomes dead. They want to flatter themselves that they know the truth. But true Zen never stops, never congeals into such truths. That is why everyone must constantly be pushed to the abyss, starting over and feeling their utter worthlessness as a student. Without suffering and doubts, the mind will come to rest on cliches and stay there, until the spirit dies as well. Not even enlightenment is enough. You must continually start over and challenge yourself. Shoju had faith that Hakuin would continue in this process because he was tenacious. Shoju had faith that... Well, whoops, I already said that. He wanted Hakuin to stay with him and serve as his successor. Excuse me. He believed the young man would someday be responsible for reviving the religion. In the end, however, Hakuin could not tame his restlessness. After 8 months, he left Shoju, certain he would return as soon as he could. But the years went by, and once again he fell into new doubts and anxieties. He wandered from temple to temple, experiencing continual highs and lows. At the age of 41, he finally had his ultimate and deepest moment of enlightenment, bringing with it a mindset that would not leave him for the rest of his life. At this point, all of the ideas and teachings of Shoju came back to him as if he had heard them yesterday, and he realized that Shoju was the only true master he had ever known. He wanted to return to thank him, but the master had died some 5 years later. He wanted to return to thank him, but the master had died some 5 years earlier. His way to repay him was to become a teacher himself, keeping alive his master's teachings. In the end, it was indeed Hakuin who rescued Zen practice from the decay it had fallen into, just as Shoju had predicted. That is a really cool story, honestly. Oh my god. Okay. To reach mastery requires some toughness and a constant connection to reality. As an apprentice, it can be hard for us to challenge ourselves on our own in the proper way, and to get a clear sense of our own weaknesses. The times that we live in make this even harder. Developing discipline through challenging situations, and perhaps suffering along the way, are no longer values that are promoted in our culture. People are increasingly reluctant to tell each other the truth about themselves, their weaknesses, their inadequacies, flaws in their work. Even the self-help books designed to set us straight tend to be soft and flattering, telling us what we want to hear, that we are basically good and can get what we want by following a few simple steps. It seems abusive or damaging to people's self-esteem to offer them stern, realistic criticism, to set them tasks that will make them aware of how far they have to go. In fact, this indulgence and fear of hurting people's feelings is far more abusive in the long run. It makes it hard for people to gauge where they are or to develop self-discipline. It makes them unsuited for the rigors of the journey to mastery. It weakens people's will. You know what's funny about that? This is exactly what I was just talking about. Like an hour ago. This is quite literally exactly what I was talking about. If you're too comfortable, it will weaken you. You will become a weaker person. I'll read this again. This paragraph here. In fact, this indulgence and fear of hurting people's feelings is far more abusive in the long run. It makes it hard for people to gauge where they are or to develop self-discipline. It makes them unsuited for the rigors of the journey to mastery. It weakens people's will. That is absolutely true. Masters are those who by nature have suffered to get to where they are. They have experienced endless criticisms of their work, doubts about their progress, setbacks along the way. They know deep in their bones what is required to get to the creative phase and beyond. As mentors, they alone can gauge the extent of our progress, the weaknesses in our character, the ordeals we must go through to advance. In this day and age, you must get the sharpest dose of reality that is possible from your mentor. You must go in search of it and welcome it. Tuned out for that part. Can you explain it again? Okay, tell me next time we see each other. Yeah, I can explain it again. So I'm assuming you're talking about the part I was talking about an hour ago or something like that. Basically, I talked about how if you are to, what's a good way to put it? If you grow accustomed to doing things that are comfortable, right? Not taking risks and sticking with things that are easy. You will never know what it's like to truly be fulfilled in life. In order to obtain anything worthwhile, truly worthwhile, of value, you have to struggle. You have to be willing to take on pain. Sometimes lots of it, sometimes an unbearable amount of pain. But the more you're able to take, the stronger you will become. I mean, think about it this way. If I only focused on what was easy, right? Let's just take this, for example, from voice acting perspective. I'll put a bookmark in for now. If I just did what I thought was easy, right? So the easiest thing for me would be no live streams, no posting shorts on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, no posting shorts on any social media, not having any social media posts at all, and not live streaming, and practicing maybe for, I don't know, like 30 minutes a day, maybe less. That would be what I would consider just easy. It'd be like, okay, yep, I'm practicing every day. This is the easiest method. I'm just gonna do this. I'm sticking with this, right? Well, there's a problem with that. Because if I just stick to 30 minutes a day and I wasn't doing all this stuff I am doing now, I wouldn't get anywhere. I simply wouldn't. I mean, I am extremely grateful for where the channel has gone to so far at this point. Like, And we're already at 100 subscribers on the channel. 101 now, actually. It might be more. I haven't checked the stats, but I know a bunch of people are watching the short from yesterday. And I'm curious to see how many people are tuning into the short today. But we're at 100 subs, and the channel's almost at 80,000 views. If I didn't take the risk and make the commitment of doing these live streams, posting shorts every single day without failure for the a little over a month now, I wouldn't have made this much progress. And the thing is, right, there are days where I woke up and I was like, I don't want to do this. Where I woke up, I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. And I don't want to do this. But that's when the self-doubt's kicking in. I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I just want to go back to sleep. I want to stay in bed under the warm covers. I'm comfortable. You got to snap out of that. You have to. It's like a trance. I mean, just this morning it happened to me. But alright, I woke up, I was a little tired, but I slept a little bit more, and then I took my phone out and I started scrolling through social media. I have to stop that. And that's an example of, you know, I'm not perfect either. I'm not. I still fuck up. I still make mistakes. That's one of them, right? And I need to get out of bed more consistently. It's something I need to work on. Even if I'm fucking tired, get out of bed. I mean, it was Marcus Aurelius who said that, and I'm paraphrasing here, but is it our purpose in life and our task to stay warm and comfortable under the covers of our beds? Or is it rather to start the day? Something along those lines. I don't remember the exact quote. That is essentially what I was talking about before, is the only way you can truly succeed is through pain, persevering through pain and struggle, or pain and obstacles. It's the only way forward. You have to embrace the path to your goal. Embrace the path to your goal, to your dream. And embrace the fact that that path is filled with lots of struggles and lots of pain. But if you make it through that path, and you make it to the end of the path, to your goal, everything you have gone through will have been worth it. And I'll say the quote I said again, too, from before, and again, I'll paraphrasing this, but it goes, something like, nothing worthwhile is ever easy. I'm say it this way. Nothing truly worthwhile is ever easy. And nothing easy is ever truly worthwhile. Yeah. And again, that's from my own personal experience too. I have made so many mistakes, man. I have fucked up so many times. More than I can count. I'm the king of... the king of failures. Or king of failing, I should say. Trust me. But every time I fail, and every time I fuck up or make a mistake, I learn from it. And I become better. Let's continue. Masters are those who by nature have suffered to get to where they are. There you go. They've experienced endless criticisms of their work, doubts about their progress, setbacks along the way. They know deep in their bones what is required to get to the creative phase and beyond. Oh, sorry, let me read this. Interesting, I think I heard something similar in the Comfort Crisis. Get out of your comfort zone. Yeah, that's exactly it. Get out of your comfort zone. You have to. You stay in your comfort zone, you're never gonna truly experience life to the fullest. You never will. They know deep in their bones what is required to get to the creative phase and beyond. As mentors, they alone can gauge the extent of our progress, the weaknesses in our character, the ordeals we must go through to advance. In this day and age, you must get the sharpest dose of reality that is possible from your mentor. You must go in search of it and welcome it. If possible, choose a mentor who is known for supplying this form of tough love. If they shy away from giving it, force them to hold up the mirror that will reflect you as you are. Get them to give you the proper challenges that will reveal your strengths and weaknesses and allow you to gain as much feedback as possible, no matter how hard it might be. Accustom yourself to criticism. Confidence is important, confidence is important, but if it is not based on a realistic appraisal of who you are, it is more grandiosity and smugness. Through the realistic feedback of your mentor, you will eventually develop a confidence that is much more substantial and worth possessing. Alright, well we have about just under 5 minutes left, so I think that's a good place for us to stop for now. Yeah, so we got 4 minutes, so why don't I just... what can I talk about for 4 minutes? Well, why don't we talk about what we read just now? Or maybe... I think what's really important to take from what we just read is there's a few things. The first one is perseverance. So, like the story with the man, what was his name again? Hakuin? Yeah, Hakuin. Hakuin that wanted to truly learn the way of Zen, and he did so, right? But he didn't do it without struggle, right? Yeah, I'm still staying just for a little bit until we hit the 3-hour mark. I'm trying to stay consistent with that. You know, perseverance is... it's really important. Sometimes it'll seem like no matter what you do, it's never enough. But you just have to persevere. You have to keep pushing yourself. And you have to do this because if you don't, you'll never truly get to where you want to be in life. No matter what your goal is. You know, as someone who's an aspiring voice actor, as my mentor and coach would say, my first real mentor, she would say, Steven, if you want to get into this field and you want to do your animation and video games and all that, you have to pay your dues. You have to pay your dues and do dogged hard work. That's what she said to me. You have to get to your goal. You can only do that through paying your dues and dogged hard work. You have to do those two things. And she's absolutely right. And you know, I'm starting my second level of acting classes tonight, which I'm really, really excited for. And you know, this teacher of mine could be my next mentor. I've already had now 3 different mentors that I have learned under, who I see as my mentors. I have my vocal coach. I have my Audacity teacher / coach for editing voiceovers specifically. Without him, I would not be as skilled and proficient with Audacity as I am now, able to edit things like that, fix things up if they sound off. I would not be there without him. And then my third mentor is my level 1 acting teacher, the one who introduced me to the realm of acting and what it's really about, and taught me a lot of really important lessons. One of the biggest things he taught me is that, or I guess he reminded me, right, that I already kind of knew, is, you know, acting is reacting. But the biggest thing about acting that people kind of mix up is that people are afraid of letting themselves loose. Like, just allowing themselves to be in the moment. Because with acting, he would tell us, you can tell when somebody is, you know, they memorize their lines, but they're just delivering them. They're not giving any substance behind it or character. But you can really tell the difference when somebody walks up on stage and they talk as if they're having a natural conversation. As if it is just something happening in this person's life. They're not reading doesn't feel like they're reading a script at all, doesn't feel like they're forcing anything. It's just who they are. That is one of the most important things I learned. And it applies to voice acting so much, right? It's the reason why I have to do sometimes a lot of takes. I have to make it sound believable, conversational, like I'm the actual character. Because if it's not believable to me, well, it's not going to be believable to you guys. Is it? Absolutely not. And even sometimes when it sounds believable to me, sometimes it's not believable to some people. And that's okay too. Because it's all leads back to what the author of this book just told us. Get used to criticism. It's gonna suck. There's gonna be people that tell you you sound like shit, or you're not good, or that you should stop. But guess what? All of that, what it really means, it means you're doing something right. Because if people are willing to criticize you, they're devoting a certain amount of energy to do that. And you should not take that as something personal, but instead take that as a sign that you need to keep going. All negative criticism you get, you know, constructive, non-constructive, whatever it is, you take it for what it is, and you use that to push yourself more and more. To prove, not necessarily to others, but more to yourself, you can do this. You're capable of doing this. Even if hundreds and hundreds of people don't think you can, you can. You need to push past all of that. It's one of the many crutches, one of the many barriers that stops people from pursuing their goals. And I think with that, we're now past 3 hours. I think with that, I'm going to end the stream there. So, I want to thank all of you who have tuned into the stream these past this past month or so. Let's see, 4 streams a week, 8, 12. Yeah, for the past let's see, I started almost month and a half now. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in for a month and a half, watching the shorts, watching the streams, all the content. Thank you so much to everybody. Thank you to everyone that's subbed. I really, really appreciate it. Man, you have some great words of wisdom. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's all from a lot of time I've had to think about things and myself, but I'm glad you like them. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody, and there will be a 100 subscriber special video coming out. I'm probably going to do a very quick short to upload just through my phone to thank everybody, and my plan is for the video, the 100 sub special, I'm going to show off some highlights of my work that I've done so far, and future plans for the channel, what the channel's about, you know, for future viewers and subscribers who want to get an idea of what I do. And I'll probably post that as the main video once you visit my homepage. So with that being said, thank you again, and I will see you all tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for the next stream. This week is going to be a regular streaming week, so we go today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I'll see you all tomorrow, and have a great rest of your day.